Hello everyone, we are here tonight, for race number 9 of the Turnkey Network Solution Series and 5 Points Racing League. Right now, qualifying underway here at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And round was fastest in the practice, but we'll see what he can do and see if he can get pole position for the first time this season. Jordan Kuntz has gotten pole 3 races in a row so far, but looks like he is not here. I know he is here so far tonight, but he was not fastest in practice or even second fastest in practice either. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying, so he's definitely one to watch out for here early on in this one. The last 3 racetracks have been typical shorter racetracks, I would say. You got North Wilkesboro, Darlington, and Rockingham, all under a mile and a half. Then we go to Pocono, one of the biggest racetracks on the schedule, other than Talladega. I believe so. Pocono is the second biggest on the schedule. So 2.5 miles and a very unique track as well. All 3 turns completely different than the rest. Jordan Kuntz messed up on his first stop there. I believe this is outlap, excuse me. He only has 2.5 minutes left as Jack Clemens goes at 54.630. He was pretty quick in qualifying as well. Aaron Brown goes to second on the board. Jack Clemens won earlier this season in race number 2 at Homestead. It's been a while since he's been in victory lane. He got pole at Kansas. He's had a few good runs so far this season. Currently, he sits in 6th in the points. He has missed 1 race so far here tonight. Aaron Brown of points here. Dakota Lee goes up to 2nd, ahead of Aaron Brown's appears in 4th. Currently 3rd in the points with 2 wins on the season. That's off of turn 3. Clemens, can he improve on his lap time of 54.630? Gotta come to the line. Down the front straightaways, go to the inside. It's half second slower. This is fast lap. Aaron Brown pulling off there. Not going to complete his 2nd lap. Dakota Lee on the fly right now as Luke Alfaro goes up to 2nd now. Has a minute and 45 seconds still left on the clock. Jordan Kuntz lap time of 54.514. That puts him on top of the board for now. A minute and a half left to go. Is Douglas Newby, one of the quicker drivers in the league as well, has 2 wins on the season. A couple poles earlier this season too so far. We'll see if he can make a 3rd here tonight, as he's going to complete his first stop here in a moment through turn 2. Now down the back straightaway he goes. In the final corner in turn number 3. Very flat turn 3, obviously at Pocono here. Off of turn 3, got a good exit there. Looks like I come across the line. It will be a 54.824. That puts him up at P4 inside the top 5. He still has time for 1 more lap. See if his 2nd lap is quicker. Hasn't been the case so far tonight, though. As most drivers have been way quicker on their first lap compared to their 2nd lap. We'll see if Douglas Newby can crack that for now. Can he put himself in the top 3 spot? Off of turn 3, hits the outside wall. That's going to not count his lap there. Not sure if he was up on his lap. He runs a 55-point flat. I think he probably was up on his lap there. Maybe could have went a bit quicker, but officially Jordan Kuntz makes it 4 poles in a row. And he will win a free paint scheme from Rev Limit Workshops. He wins the pole here at Pocono. Jordan Kuntz, 4 poles in a row. Man. Very impressive run. It's been at some really hard racetracks as well. North Wilkesboro, Darlington, and Rockingham, and now Pocono. All very unique and very different from each other and very difficult racetracks there. He's been quickest, but he's only got 1 win in the streak so far. Can he go back-to-back here? And back-to-back weeks, Rockingham, he won last week. Can he win here at Pocono? As currently warm-up in the driver's meeting is underway now, here in 4.5 minutes, and we'll be right back. Your starting lineup here, the TA Graphics 220 kilometers here at Pocono. As we're back live here at Pocono Raceway. Right now currently grading up for tonight's 55 lap race in a 2.5 mile track. Take a quick look at our starting order here tonight as we saw Jordan Kuntz win the pole here tonight once again for the 4th time in a row. Jordan Kuntz will be starting this race on pole position, and alongside him Jack Clemens in 2nd, Farrell 3rd, Douglas Newbegin in 4th. Dakota Lee 5th, Aaron Brown in 6th, currently our points leader. Hawkeye Jake 7th, Luke Pierce in 8th. Tyler Aspinall in 9th, Evan Drake in 10th. Luke Strayer 11th, and Nicholas Emmons in 12th. Brian Perry in 13th, Eric Keeter 14th, tough qualifying there for that 28 machine. Chris Sawyer 15th, Jacob Thornton in 16th. Derek Stanley 17th, Thomas Coonan in 18th, not a good qualifying for him, did not set a lap in qualifying. Last but not least, in 19th place is Dakota Hendrickson. See what we can do all the way back in the 19th spot. Like we mentioned, Jordan Kuntz once again 4 pole positions in a row here so far this season. See what you can do here tonight at Pocono. Track position can be pretty important here tonight. You have some dirty air, some draft here at the long straightaways in Pocono, but once we get a longer green flag run, pit stops could be very important. Fuel window around 27, so about a 1-stop race, but it's very close on the number for 27 laps there. As it is a 55 lap race, so if they do pit on lap 27, they can only go to lap 54 or 1 stop. So they might have to, if this does go green the way, they might have to save some fuel, but the pace track not gonna pull off quite just yet. Got one more pace stop anyway, but meantime, let's take a quick look at weather here in tonight's event. Pretty hot track temp, 104-degree track temp there, and 67 degrees, and sunny. Pretty high wind there, and 13 mile per hour northeast as well. Fuel oil is being given right now, I believe. And should be going green this time by. Some drivers warming up their tires there. Cold tires could play a factor in tonight's initial start as well. We saw a few times last week at Rocky and Pocono. Not as much of a track where tire temperatures matter on the initial start. A little flatter surface as well. So there should not be any wheel spin too much on this initial start. We'll see as coming down the back straightaway, down in the flat turn 3. Should be going green this time by as the pace truck gonna make the hard left turn on the pit lane. Off of turn 3. There you come. Jordan Kuntz going to lead us to the green flag this time by. Good cycles by there. This comes way out in front. Kuntz. It's a terrible start for Jack Clemens there. As he's way up front, Malcolm Jicken, the penalty there might be cleared in a moment. The green flag is out. Kuntz and Barrow now side by side. Entering turn 1. Behind them, Dakota Lee in 3rd. Great qualifying run for him in that CA graphics machine. As off of turn 1 they go. Single file out for the top 5 positions about as Peters in 7th side by side with Douglas Newbegin. As that was a very weird initial start there. There's a lot of checking out as Clemens was way out front. And had to check out big time to allow Jordan Kuntz to get alongside him, but entering turn 3, Kuntz still has a race lead. They now enter down to turn 3. As off of turn 3 they go. Oh, one car on the wall. That's Jack Clemens there. Got really tight off of turn 3. As Jordan Coons leads lap 1, followed by Luke Farrell and Dakota Lee in 3rd. Luke Peters in 4th. Jack Clemens in 5th after hitting the outside wall off of turn 3 there. As the inside goes, Lucas Strayer. Side by side off of turn 1. It's a little tight here off of turn 1. So let's see where the wall. Side by side with those two being up there for 7th place. Thomas Kuhn already up to 10th place after starting at 17th. Made his way up 7 positions already. Not 2 from the lap number 3 this time by. There's a couple cars of wall, and there goes 33 around, spinning on the inside, and caution comes out. Hard leading the outside wall. I think he got into, Doug Zumbi got into him there as well. Let's get the first caution here on lap number 3. Off of turn 3, Douglas Zumbi right behind Aaron Brown to his left here. With the outside wall and nowhere for Newbigin to go, just kind of racing this in there. Major damage to that 33 machine. You do not want aero damage to your track like Pocono, especially in the left rear. We can get that patched up on the pit lane. Brings up the first caution of the night. Lap 3. I expect some of these drivers maybe top off on some fuel as well, since the fuel number is so close. Now turn 3, we'll see if any of these drivers come down pit lane. I'm a little surprised if some of these guys do, but I mean, how close it is on fuel, we'll see here. Yep, a lot of drivers coming down pit lane here early on lap 3. Almost the whole field, almost, it seems like. Looks like 1, 2 drivers staying out there. Everyone else is going to tops off on fuel and make sure they can do a one-stop race. He's going to do his first pit stall there. Looks like someone missed their pit stall. Thomas Kuhn has topped off on fuel only. Most of these drivers is the way they go. The drivers probably fixed some of the damage to the outside wall pretty hard as well. I was saying that Tyler Aspinall and Dakota Hendrickson out there in first and second. We'll see if anyone else tops off even more before we go back green next time by. As the front 2 cannot pit again, but I think Thomas Kuhn missed his pit stall initially, so they bring it back down pit lane, and it looks like he will. 96 coming down pit lane once again, gonna have to restart in the rear. Anyone else coming down pit lane and follow him into the stall? Looks like no one else will, so everyone else gonna elect to stay out there. As double following up to you on the back straightaway. So we're going to restart with about 50 laps to go here in this one. So based off the fuel strategy, about 27, 25 laps or so. On fuel should be a one-stop race for everyone that did pit there under that caution. Two that stayed out, kind of just gambling it. Hoping for a caution later in the race and just staying out front for some track position here. The Jordan Kuntz are closer, going to be in at third right now. Coming to the green this time by. Sure gonna take the hard left turn in the pit lane. And Tyler Osborne will go leads to the green this time by. And the green flag is out. He is clear easily. Dakota Henderson quickly there. He's gonna stay to the inside for now. Keep trying to some draft there. He goes up top. Have a good entry to turn number one. There's a 3 wide behind him almost. As Kuntz side by side. Luke here is gonna dive to the inside turn one. Kuntz down the middle, 3 wide to Dakota Henderson on the outside. Now 2 wide for second behind. It's Peters and Kuntz. Right racing down the long pong straightaway there. Down there turn 2, very tight corner. We'll see who outbreaks who here in the turn number 2. Right yet again behind as well. Some contact further on the back. Oh, that's Nicholas Simons right there on the outside wall as Kuntz clears Peters for second. Clemens up to fourth now, and Farrow battling Dakota Henderson for fifth. Through lap 1, a few drivers brush the outside wall for turn 3. Lap 1 restart completes there. Tyler Osborne going to go low and break the draft a little bit there on Jordan Kuntz. Down into turn 1. It's Kuntz and Peters. Single call through turn 1 is here comes Luke Farrow up to fourth place now on Jack Clemens. Side by side down the back, Lucas Strayer stays in line for now. Down the back, they're down the long pong straightaway they go. Entering turn 3. Shaper and Evan Driggs side by side there for 8th entering turn 3 here. Able to good run off for turn 2. It's a little down into turn 3 though, but off in front Lucas Strayer way wide off of turn 3 as well. Side by side action there for that back. 32 and 12. And on 13 being involved in that first wreck earlier as 3 wide move. Like assuming and making a very aggressive move middle 3 wide. Dakota Lee and Evan Drake as they double fall down in turn 1. Lee taking tires in the last pit stop. Not sure if he meant to do that. He was up front, up in 3rd place, I believe. 3rd or 4th before the pit stops happened. But he elected to take some tires there. Not sure that was the right call. Just with how little laps he went on those tires, only about 2 laps green on those tires. So not really enough to wear them out too much, but see how big of a factor that plays these next few laps. But out front, Tyler Osborne doing a great job so far. Staying ahead of Jordan Kuntz. We'll see what the lap times are this time by. Pretty much identical lap times from Tyler Aspinall and Jordan Kuntz there. So Aspinall looking pretty strong so far early on this restart. Kuntz just might have some third gear from that 29 machine side by side behind. Ferguson being Jacob there for 8. We're going to try to sneak his way through, not able to. He's going to slot back in line. We're on board that 3 machine there. Side by side in turn 2. Maybe a little sketchy off the exit here. Big wobble there for Thornton there. Up the racetrack he goes. It's a bit loose on entry. Here comes in with a good run down in turn 3. He's going to take 18 inside. He's going to really send it deep on the brakes, and he's going to clear 4-9. Can you stay ahead for now on the exit? Yes, you will. He stays in front for now. Coming across the line is behind him. On the outside wall for Evan Drake off of turn 3. Seen that a few times here tonight so far. It's Thomas Coonan working with Aaron Brown there around 13th place. As Brown with a little bit of aero damage, struggling in the left rear. So he got that patched up pretty well, but still could still be affecting just a little bit down the fronts. Front straightaways and the back straightaways. As the inside he goes, gonna help Coonan get some drafts here. Pull alongside Derek Keegan, try to pass him there. But 13th place spot. And still, Jordan Kuntz not able to catch up to Tyler Aspinall. Aspinall is doing a good job hanging, just kind of maintaining the gap right now, about half a second throughout the whole lap. Kuntz gains a little bit, then loses a little bit on the exit. It seems like even with Luke Peters, they're trying to push as Aspinall breaks draft off of turn 3. He still stays ahead lap time wise. He was a little bit quicker, about 200ths of a quicker than Jordan Kuntz. And right now, it looks like Aspinall is doing a great job holding off Jordan Kuntz for now. No sign of really even close to him at all. Luke Pocono and Milner is there right now in 4th. About a second back from Luke Peters and about a second ahead of Jack Clemens. A big train of cars behind Clemens, so if Clemens makes a mistake in any of these corners, cars behind will pounce quickly. Right now, about 5 laps, green flag laps into this run here. Tire, a little bit of a factor so far. These drivers are a little bit slower than their fastest lap times. This time by we'll compare those lap times. And Aspinall, not the best exit of turn 3 there. Kuntz gains about half a second that time by. Looks like Aspinall about 18 slower than his fastest lap time, even with about 8 laps on his tires. You see a little bit of tire wear so far early in this one, 12 laps in. And Kuntz is slowly gaining his time back bit by bit, and now he's in drafting range here, down the straightaways. In a few hundredths of a second, few thousandths of a second down these straightaways, and that's going to be enough to reel him in even more. The closer he gets, the more effective the draft will be. I think he'll be there in a few laps or so. I think Kuntz may have saved his tires a little bit better than Tyler Aspinall out in front. Luke Peters is still behind there in 3rd, right on Jordan Kuntz's bumper. As behind for 8th, he got side-by-side action to put a lead Douglas Newbiggy for 7th. Skilla Hendrickson right behind them. He's going to work with the lead down the front straightaway as Aspinall getting caught quickly by Jordan Kuntz. Made a few mistakes that lap time, and that allowed Kuntz to basically split the gap there. He gained about 2.5 cents on Tyler Aspinall front, so he should have a good run off of turn number 1. And back straightaway he goes. He got a massive draft down the back. We'll see what he does here in the turn 3. I think he'll how give an exit. He gets off of turn 2. He's right on the back bumper here shortly. As Aspinall gets a bit tight there. Here comes Kuntz right on the back bumper by 29 machine. Able to drive it in way deeper than that 29. And just shows how much tire saving Jordan Kuntz has done these past few laps. Aspinall, it's a bit tight off of turn 3. And coming across the line this time by. Thin the inside line into turn 1. Gotta break the draft, and here comes Kuntz. Luke Peters right behind him as well, so Peters could be looking for an opportunity to maybe take the race lead here as Peters goes way wide in turn 1. Gotta hope for a good exit down the back. Peters a good run on the high side. Luke Peters look low, and he stays behind Kuntz for now. Aspinall not gonna let Kuntz by easily. Trying to break the draft and block at the same time, not only into his left rear quarter panel. But Kuntz, I think, just has to wait for a mistake from Aspinall. Aspinall is not letting him have that bottom. They'll give him the top all day long. Kuntz drives in deep on the top side in 3. Can he get his right rear quarter panel? No, he can't, but now Peters is inside. It's almost side-by-side contact there off of turn 3. Kuntz in the outside wall. Aspinall blocking big time down low. Now side by side for second. As Aspinall up the racetrack they go. Let's go out. Maybe Luke Peters an opportunity to maybe take the race lead. Luke Farlow not too far behind as he's gained some time. When these drivers up front battling big time. And then Jack Clemens getting a lot of time on the top 3 out in front. Will Kuntz put the back bumper to Aspinall here? Down into turn 3. As Spears to the inside turn 2. Just sending it up to the bottom lane, side by side, off the exit of turn 2, gonna get a little tight. As Peters backs out of it there. That gives Aspinall a little breathing room going on to turn 3, which is definitely a corner where a bump run can happen with how flat the corner is. Seen that multiple times before. You can make a little bump run in turn 3. It's coming across the line. Aspinall still leads over Jordan Kuntz for now. Lucas Faro and Jack Clemens closing the gap here quickly on these gyros ahead as they continue the battle for his top spot. A little further back in ground up to 11th, Thomas Keenan in 12th as side by side Elliott Brown, Jacob Gordon, and Dakota Henriksen down into 9th and 10th. Back to the other race lead. Aspinall doing a good job pulling off Jordan Kuntz for now. But how much longer can he go? Seems like he's really worn out his tires though. Battling Jordan Kuntz's last few laps. So the gap has kind of settled down to around 2/10. For now. Brown makes himself inside the top 10 now, up to 9. That 33rd machine involved in lap 1. Aspinall looking for his first win on the season so early in this race so far. So he had a good pit stop strategy, getting that track position. Hasn't looked back since, but here comes Jordan Kuntz to the inside on the turn 3. He's to his left rear quarter panel. And Kuntz finally to his inside lane. He's going to clear Tyler Aspinall for the race lead. And Jordan Kuntz back out front here tonight on lap 17 from the 18. But Aspinall with a crossover move. Kuntz going to give him a good block. Aspinall to his left rear quarter panel. Going to sidetrack him down the front straightaway. And here comes Luke Peters now to go around turn 1. And what he does here, he's going to stay behind Kuntz for now. Side by side in turn 1, up the racetrack they go. It's off of turn 1. Looks like Kuntz on the outside going to have a good run. They gap Aspinall for now. Side by side behind Luke Pierce and Tyler Aspinall. Entering turn 2. Pierce on the outside going to do a little sketchy move off of the exit. Pierce going to hang on for now. Can he have a good enough run? Yes, he will. He'll clear for second now. He's gonna try to chase down Jordan Kuntz once again. He sounds like the lead over Luke Peters after battling Tyler Aspinall for the past 6 laps or so. Finally able to get around at 29. Behind him, Luke Lafaro also gaining a lot of time on these drivers ahead as they've been battling these past few laps. Gap now for him is 1.2 seconds behind Jordan Kuntz. He also has some draft up ahead. We'll see how 54 machine can do in these next 2 laps. His pit stops will be happening here soon for Tyler Aspinall in the next 7 laps or so. The rest of the drivers can go around 10 to 12 more laps. There's one car way to the inside. That might be. That's Evan Drake there in that 81. Tied the outside wall for turn 3 there. But he keeps it straight for now. Go on board Jordan Kuntz there on his rear box. He is slowly in the gap there on the back straightaway. Now we're going to turn 2 he gets here. little gyro a little bit deeper than Jordan Kuntz there. Kuntz using that full rumble shift there to help turn that race car just a little bit more. Cross the line this time by. He was about 1/10 quicker than Jordan Kuntz that last time by. I don't believe they're shifting quite just yet. He really drives into turn 1 very deep. Kuntz with a little bit of exit there off the corner of turn 1. There's some battling there. Lead back there, Eric Hughes, side by side with Dakota Henderson. One of the other drivers that stayed out on the first caution here with Tyler Aspinall. He fell back quite early on the restart and just kind of been falling back ever since then. He's down to 13th. As Eric here gets clear again for 12. Tom's going up into the top 10 spot now. That time by, Kuntz opened up the gap on Luke Pierce just a little bit now. Tires was definitely showing a wear here. These last few laps, you can see Clemens is coming to life a little bit here as he's catching up to Luke Farrell up ahead. And one of the quickest drivers on the racetrack, technically this behind Jordan Kuntz. And in the meantime, we do a little other rank it up here on lap 22 and lap 23 here at Pocono. We're back here as all few passes there, Douglas being up to 7. Past the Cudley there. This Cudley getting chased down by Aaron Thomas Kuhn as well. Now look far to the outside of Tyler Aspinall off of turn 2. Gonna make the move into turn 3 though. Aspinall really wearing those red front tires out as Alfaro does clear for third. So here comes Clemens. Oh, Clemens will go way to the bottom there on the racetrack. Going the side drop big time up the racetrack. He goes, he's going to clear Tyler Aspinall for fourth as well. And then Aaron Brown getting around Dakota Lee, but here comes Thomas Kuhn as well. To the inside for Dakota Lee. This pit stop should be coming up here shortly. The 29 machine and the 25 both staying out on the first initial cautions. We're almost to the halfway point in this one. As late out in front, Jordan Kuntz has opened his gap up to about 1 second over Luke Peters. His last few laps, Kuntz has been doing some good lap times there. Now Peters has lost a draft on that 27 machine. Also, Clemens has opened up the gap on Tyler Aspinall behind. It's going to allow him to go to the inside with Farley. Farley's just going to let him have it. He gives Clemens a spot. Aspinall not in the pit lane yet. Hits the outside wall once again. There's a lot of right front damage, and that's really probably affecting him right now, making him kind of use that right front just a little bit more as Lucas Strayer side by side with him. On the front straightaway they go. Here on the outside to clear in turn one. Lucas Strayer having a quiet, good season so far. Fourth in the points right now. It's had 4 top 5s so far this season. Very good results for him so far, fourth in the points. So see if he can keep it up right now. He's looking good. He's looking for another top 5 run here. That Pocono would be his 5th top 5 this season. Third most. He's tied for third most out of everyone in this race. It's Tyler Aspinall once again in the outside wall for turn 2. I think he's going to come in this time by. It looks like he's really struggling on those older tires. The tires have dropped off about 2 seconds compared to their freshest. We are halfway through as here comes Aspinall now pit lane. We're in lap 27 from the 28 this time by. Thomas Kuhn side by side, 3 wide for 6th. Kuhn on the inside, Brown in the middle, Newbigin up top. Newbigin way up the racetrack there. He goes into the bumps there in turn 1. Kuhn is clear. Brown not quite off of turn number 1. Side by side for 7th still. He has a good run on the top side. It's kind of boxing in turn 2. We'll see how this plays out. The single file back out. Down into the tunnel turn. Other drivers getting a little bit tight there on those older tires. Kuntz's gap is kind of coming down to around 7/10, 6-7/10. But I think really what's going to win this race is the pit stop strategy. You can lay it the best. Clemens got around Lafaro a few laps ago, but him and Lafaro have been not able to really separate too much. Clemens did, Lafaro pretty much let him by. It's all the back bumper of that 69 machine. The pit window, I believe, is open, so if you guys do want to come down pit lane, they can. They will make on fuel with 27 to go. Oh, there's me in the outside wall for turn 2. I think we might see some drivers come down pit lane this time by. It looks like Kuntz stay out. Here's the outside wall for turn 3. We'll see if anyone else comes down pit lane as these drivers are really struggling on those right front tires. You see how tight they are. Here comes Douglas Newbigin in the pit box. And here at Pocono, most cars are pretty tight, not loose, but these exits are the saber barrier walls coming at you. Especially off of turn 2 and turn 3. You don't really see that too much off of turn 1. Since it just seems like a little wider entry, but especially off of turn 2 and off of turn 3 it just seems very tight. It just gets tighter and tighter with those right front wearing out. Just using the apron to help him turn a little bit there. But Peters has closed the gap down just a little bit even after hitting the wall a couple times as we saw. I feel like some of the drivers might come out pit lane this time by. You see Kuntz, I believe, may have shifted into third gear there. Coming down this time. And the 25 to go. Kuntz down pit lane. Peters going to stay out. Another lap. And if you really pretty much everyone else, Thomas Kuhn down pit lane. Letting Wells come down to put a lead down into pit road. Right side of the screen, you'll see all those in the pit boxes. You got Brian Berry, Malachi Drake, and obviously Ron Kunis and Thomas Kunis. Luke Peters getting passed by a lap car, not exactly what he wants here on his probably his in lap, as I'm guessing he's going to be paying this time by. Be my guess. Everyone going to be taking 4 tires. Full tank of fuel here as Seagram's Spears down into the pit box. And LaFaro, really interesting entry there. Did not get a penalty as Eric Hughes down pit lane as well as everyone down pit lane. So 27 laps to round the number, so we'll see what this cycles out everyone to be as Kuntz will be going into turn 2 right now. This is turn 3, excuse me, as Clemens. His box overshot just a little bit there for that 69 machine. As here comes Kuntz down the front straightaway he goes. So he will be the first one off of pit lane, most likely will be Luke Peters as he was the first one to enter. Yes, it will, as there he goes off the pit exit. And Kuntz will go by easily. And we'll see how big of a gap he has as Peters still not to the blue cone. There he is. Kuntz has about 2.5 second gap over Luke Peters after only pitting 1 lap earlier. Not 50 machine, but he has some lap traffic with Malachi Drake up ahead. Will Drake get out of the way? Everyone has come down pit lane. Alex Small pitting really early there, right behind Luke Peters, but he is ahead of Luke Alfaro. It's Thomas Kuhn, Jack Clemens, Douglas Sundin, and pack together as well. Driving the outside wall is straight off the turn 2. Cross the line here, 23 to go. Everyone has pitted so far, so this will be the official pit cycle complete. So Kuntz in the lead by 3 seconds over Luke Peters. As Tyler Aspinall 2 seconds behind Luke Peters, but he has about 4 lap older tires than pretty much everyone around him. 3 to 4 lap older tires. We'll see how it lasts these next 23 laps. Aspinall was able to hang on for quite a long time on those older tires, but in the last 5 or so laps, he really fell off pretty quickly. LaFaro catching up to him very quickly in his pack of cars behind him with Thomas Kuhn and Jack Clemens as well. Catching up to him very quickly here. Inside goes LaFaro there. Gonna make quick work of Tyler Aspinall. As there goes Thomas Kuhn as well. Jack Clemens will follow suit. Not able to clear quite off of turn 1. There he is going to clear in the turn 2 though. Clemens all the back bumper of Thomas Kuhn. Kuhn fighting through the traffic as he pitted late on the first caution, so he had to start all the way back in round 19. Since he pitted with coming to 1 to go, he's worked his way up to 4th place. He also had a bad qualifying, did not set a qualifying lap. He's all the way up to 4th place, so very good night here for Thomas Kuhn with 21 laps to go, but Clemens gets by there for a 4th place spot. Thomas Kuhn's in about 1 lap older tires. 96 machine, or even the 69 machine, excuse me, of Clemens. Now close battle on the racetrack pretty much is for third. So you look for a lean that pack of cars right now, separated around half a second between each of them. And down catching that machine left Tyler Aspinall there for 8. And Brown currently are points leader right now. Second in points. It's Douglas Newbigin who's up the road just a little bit there. Gap is around 13 points. So Peters is also in third in the points, 24 points behind. As there goes Brown on Tyler Aspinall. As right now, let's look at the gap there for Luke Peters and Jordan Kuntz. Gap around 2.5 now. Peters has gained around a tenth a lap these past few laps, but keeping that pace up, he'll be around half a second by the white flag. So if he can get a little bit quicker these next few laps, he might have a chance on Jordan Kuntz late in this one. And remember, before they pitted, Peters was just a little bit quicker than Kuntz, so may have a little bit better tire advantage as well, tire saving advantage as well. Got 27 machine compared to the 27 machine, excuse me. As we'll see what happens here, but the longest green flag run of the night, around 25 laps. It went 20, I believe it was 28 laps last time, so a little bit shorter, about 3 laps shorter than the last pit cycle run. We see the finish. We do not have a caution in this one, but one driver down pit lane. Not sure that might be Malachi. It's actually Tyler Aspinall on pit lane. Interesting for that 29 machine. I know he was sick earlier in the day, and he was running a pretty good race. He's kind of fallen back these last few laps. Maybe something to do with his sickness there, and unfortunate for him there. She looks like he'll look out for a second there, but he's having a good night earlier. Led a few laps, and he was looking like he could pull off the strategy call, but just struggled very late in that run. Tires worn out way too much. He just kind of felt like a rock there, and he was down to, I believe, around 9th or 10th. He comes down pit lane. I believe he has disconnected from the session, so not sure if it was due to sickness. Just couldn't handle it anymore, or something else must have happened, but unfortunately for him, he's having a good night inside the top 10. Currently, he sits in 8th in the points, and kind of close to the cutoff, I would say, as well, side by side behind Doug Zumbi and Lucas Strader for 6 and 7, because assuming it stays ahead of Strader, but right now the playoff cutoff right now would be Ollie Reeves, who missed tonight in 10th. He has updated this. It was not updated actually, but the actual number is around 10th place would be Luca Faro, but side by side for 5th, Thomas Kuhn and Douglas Newbigin. Newbigin on the top side, Kuhn with a little bit older tires. Actually, Douglas Newbigin with the older tires, excuse me, as he's going to get to the outside of Kuhn and will be able to clear down the front straightaway. Not quite just yet, as Kuhn has his right rear on his left rear, very close there, trying to side drift as much as he can. Not 71 machine. These are still alongside each other going on turn 2. This could get a little sketchy on the exit of turn 2 as it gets really tight for the driver on the outside. Up the racetrack they go. Kuhn a bit loose. Contact down the back. As let's go out. Newbigin to maybe clear into turn 3. Not quite just as Kuhn really sends it on the entry of turn 3. A little slideways there on the entry. On the exit of turn 3 he goes. Newbigin will clear down the front straightaway. Now Lucas Strader side by side with Thomas Kuhn on the inside now. We'll see what Strader can do down in turn number 1. This is a clear for now, but will Kuhn sends the inside. Oh, he's going to give Strader a bump down in turn 1. Gets Strader a bit sideways there, but he keeps it intact. That 41 machine now side by side with Douglas Newbigin on the exit of turn number 1. Newbegin will clear down the back straightaway on a long long straightaway there. Entering turn number 2 in the Aaron Brown looking ahead as he's closing the gap down to these drivers, and he's looking for a top 5 finish. It would be his 8th top 5 of the season. He's finished top 10 in every race so far this season. 8 starts, 8 top 10s. He has 7 top 5s, so easily clear the field. He's has 7 top 5s. His second closest driver is Douglas Newbegin with 5. So Brown with 2 more top 5s than Newbegin. Currently sits second in the points, but like I was mentioning the cutoff right now, Luke Gaffaro with that 3rd place run, doing a great job so far. Tyler Aspinall not having a great race, all the way down into 18th. Probably will jump at 29 machine. Gaffaro did miss a race so far this season, and he only has 1 top 5 out of his 7 races, so good run for him tonight as he'll put himself a little bit more in the comfort zone. Right now he's on the outside looking in. So he's in by 1 position. Obviously you have the wild card spots as well, so no one outside the top 10 has a win, but right now Thomas Kuhn side by side with Douglas Newbegin for 6 now. Kuhn not clear yet. Newbegin into the outside wall hard off of turn 3. As he's still side by side with Thomas Kuhn. Here comes Aaron Brown, looking to try to make himself inside contender here for around 6th place. As Lucas Shear has really got these drivers about 1 second as these guys have been battling there. Off of turn 3, hit the Douglas going to be hard on the outside wall. Surprisingly, he was able to stay alongside Thomas Kuhn. But Kuhn now clears off of turn 1. Here comes Brown now into the mix here. There's a main guy just letting Aaron Brown by there for 7. As caution flag flies, Evan Drake around hard off of turn 2, I believe, and that's going to change everything as he's blown up in the pit lane. He goes. Wow. So we'll take a quick look at what happened there with 12 laps to go as it really flips this race on its head. Evan Drake just kind of running by himself there. Not sure what place he was before this incident, but through turn 2. Just got tight at the outside wall, got loose, couldn't save it. Bam, right into the inside wall he goes. Almost collected, I believe that was maybe Dakota Lee, possibly. Yes, it was. Dakota Lee saw from his nose camera. Going as high as he can, goes low, and then oh, he did hit Evan Drake there, so he has a little bit of left side damage. Got 3 machine, unfortunate for him, but Evan Drake will be out of this one. Just tied the outside wall, couldn't save it. Hard licked to the inside wall. There, he's gonna be out for tonight as well. But Jordan Kuntz, unfortunate for him, had a 2-second lead over that 50 machine of Luke Peters. Good restart here with around probably 9 laps to go, 8-9 laps to go. So it's going to be a pretty quick dash to the finish here. So we'll see who gets a better pit stop as well. As we come down pit lane, this is going to be the big The biggest and most important stop here tonight. From the 10 laps to go. We will come out of pit lane first. We'll see a two-tire strategy maybe for one driver. A couple drivers might take two. I mean, it'll be pretty risky. We'll see. Blocks to go. A couple drivers taking two. Thomas Coonan taking two. Eric Kier taking two. And Luke Peters, and actually Luke LaFaro taking two tires. As that's the strategy call. I was talking about a couple drivers taking two. I believe 4 drivers took 2 tires there. Wow. So first drivers out of the lane will be Luke LaFaro, Thomas Coonan, and Eric Keeter 1, 2, 3. Glenn Kuntz will be the first driver on 4. Peters is on 4, and Nicholas Amon's on 2, I believe. I mean, a 7-second pit stop, so maybe only took fuel only possibly as well. But either way, not going to be on 4 tires for that 22 machine, so got to really jumble up the order of the top 3. And LaFaro, we'll see what he can do. He's pretty quick on 4 tires. Kuhn's been pretty quick. Heater surprisingly has not really been quick tonight. His home track here at Pocono, his favorite racetrack in the entire world. And he's kind of just been running around 10th place to 13th. Kind of surprising for him. He's usually up front here at a track like Pocono as well, and just overall in the season. Currently 5th in the points, has a win and 3 top 5. So we'll see what he can do here as we restart here with 8 laps to go. We'll take a quick break before we go back ring here with TA Graphics 220 here at Pocono. As you're back live here, coming to 8 laps to go. Luke LaFaro got lead us to the green flag. As pace truck is off. LaFaro with 2 tires. Thomas Kuhn 2 tires. And Eric Keeter with 2 tires. His green flag is out. And away we go. 8 lap dash to the finish. Who slots in line there behind Luke Peters. As Peters down to the inside of Eric Keeter. Big blocks there for Keeter. And Peters all the way to the inside. So they're almost going to be 3 wide out in turn 1. As Eric Keeter now side by side with Luke LaFaro for the race lead. Side by side, all the exit of turn 1 now, down the long column straightaway. How aggressive will these drivers be as Jordan Kuntz not cleared yet of Thomas Coonan. As Luke LaFaro does clear Eric Keeter down into turn number 2. Can he now gap these guys behind and try to pull away on those 2 right side tires? As Peters side by side with Eric Keeter. Peters now clears for a second, gets a bit loose. As contact behind, Jack Clemens around, Aaron Brown around, sideways in front of the mid pack of the field. And around they go, caution comes out. You gotta re-rack them up. Back again. As Jack Clemens and Aaron Brown teammates there spinning off of turn 2. We'll see what happened there. This is entering turn 2. Clemens checks up for joint pinch there. Brown kind of just gets in his left rear of his teammate, not able to save it. Moose, luckily there, didn't get ran over, but Clemens kind of pays the price for checking up just a little bit there for that 27 machine. We're on board that 33. I think he just kind of didn't expect Clemens to check up as much. On board Aaron Brown here entering turn 2. Solid gap. I mean, you don't want to check up too much on these restarts there, but unfortunately, I don't think Brown got too badly damaged. Actually, he's seen that wall there, right there, which here at Pocono is not something you want to do, but we're going to re-rack him up again as LaFaro stays in front, but now Luke Peters on those 4 fresh tires in second. Eric Peters stays in third. It's Thomas Coonan down to 5th place after starting second there. A few drivers coming out of pit lane probably to fix some damage. Augustine, Biggie, Aaron Brown, Malachi Drake, and Jack Clemens all probably having some damage from that wreck as well. Might as well just take 4 tires here as well. Got a little bit of advantage. You know, it's only like half lap or so, but in the meantime, we're going to take a quick little break. Our last break of the night. We'll be right back here at Pocono. back live here at Pocono. Coming to green here. 4 laps to go. Faro on those only right side tires. Peterson's outside on 4 fresh tires as green flag is out. Down turn 1 they go here with a good restart there. Rolex is inside. Down into turn 1. Just stay behind for now, but Gafaro clears into turn 1. Peters hits those bumps on the outside. Gonna send up the racetrack. He's gonna get really tight for turn 1. He's gonna go side by side down the long pond. Is wrecking in the back there. No caution out yet. There is the yellow flag. Dakota Hendrickson wrecking off of turn 1 there. Blown up engine for a 25 machine. Hard hit for him. He's right around the mid-pack there. So he got tagged. Couldn't see the number on that. With Derek Stanley there, I believe. So there's Derek Stanley on the 26. So hard impact there for that 25, but we'll go a little further back. So off of turn 1 there, just racing as hard as you can. A little check up there for Dakota Lee. I think Dakota Lee, yeah, actually, yeah, the 3. Dakota Hendrickson just checked up also as well, and I don't think Derek Stanley realized there's kind of a big check up there ahead of him. But LaFaro stays ahead here. Could be a green, white checkered in this one. As we'll bring in currently our race leader of Luca Ferro and talk us through his strategy as we come to a green white checker in this one. Hello, Luca, you got copy this booth.
Yeah, I got you.
So you've been able to stay ahead on these last few restarts, but you come down to a green and white checkered shootout here. Talk us through your strategy in these next 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean, just survive, you know, get good restart. That's what it's about. If I can get clear of Peters, you know, I feel like I can hold them off. It's just gonna be tough. Obviously, since I took 2 tires, I'm gonna be at a little tire disadvantage. But as long as I can just get clear and hold my line, I feel like I can pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really been side by side with anyone on these restarts at all, except maybe Peters on the initial one, making it 3 wide. How aggressive do you guys think your teammates are gonna be with you, currently running 1, 2, 3?
Hopefully not too much. Hopefully, you know, we give each other room, which we've always done. So I feel like aggressive is definitely warranted with this amount of laps left. But I feel like we're gonna be able to keep, you know, a level to that aggression. I think we'll put on good last 2 laps here if we can go green.
Yep. Well, good luck in the rest of your race, and maybe we'll speak to you in victory lane after.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Now, as Luke Gafaro currently on the bubble here in the chase right now, currently running 10th in the points. A win here tonight would be massive for him. He would be one of the wildcard drivers as well, just in case he's on the top 10 in the points. And currently no one outside the top 10 has a win, so currently the wildcard drivers are just the drivers in 11th and 12th, which is Ollie Reeves and Jacob Thornton. Ollie Reeves not here tonight. You could see maybe a driver like Malachi Drake sneak his way up through the field there, as Evan Drake having a bad night tonight, but Malachi Drake not having a great night either. He's all the way down in 15. Also, the drivers ahead of him that he needs to beat aren't having the best nights as well, but apparently he's 16th in the points. All he needs is 1 win, possibly as well, in the wild card spot. So the points are going to be becoming pretty important here these next few weeks. So the chase will be starting here pretty soon. Yes, it will. So you have 3 races left, 4 if you include Pocono. So the last race being Talladega. So you got Pocono currently racing right now, Bristol, Charlotte, off week for Memorial Day, and then Talladega. So you got Bristol in that one. That could be a very hectic race as well. And you also have Talladega. Charlotte, I would say, is probably the most normal race. Pocono, usually pretty normal, but we've had these last few cautions, these last few laps, all started with around 10 laps to go. Double following up here in the turn 2. Can LaFaro hang on for another restart? He's been pretty good on the restarts. We saw the initial restarts. He was in the race lead there. Peters, his teammate, took it 3 wide. Kuntz also there in 4th place. Hasn't really been a factor. Hasn't really had enough green flag time to really make up some spots here. We haven't even went through turn 2 yet on these restarts. So we'll see what happens here. The first initial green light checker. I believe there's 3 attempts, I believe. I'll have to get clarification on that. But anyways, into the Geico restart zone they go. LaFaro out front, Peters in second, Heater in third. Green flag is out. Oh, with a nice jump, but Peters with a good jump as well. As Kuntz right on the back bumper, going to push Peters down into turn 1. 2 by 2 for the top 4 gyros. Is Jocelyn for position from behind. Lucas Schreier in 5th place, trying to hold on from Thomas Kuntz. Side by side, Peter contact Kuntz up the racetrack they go. Can LaFaro clear Peters off for turn 1? Yes, he will. Peters he's gonna have a good run down the back straightaway. Will LaFaro block down their turn 2? No, he's gonna stay up top. Peters with some draft. Will he look to the inside? No, he won't. Not quite yet. A side by side for 3rd behind. As around goes Peters off the front bumper of Jordan Kuntz. As now Luke LaFaro has a huge lead over the rest of the field. Can they keep it straight for another corner as they're almost 4 wide down to turn 3? As here comes Aaron Brown looking for a top 5 spots. They're 4 wide in turn 3. Lucas Schreier up to second as Heater side by side for second off for turn 3. But Luke LaFaro going to take the white flag this time by. And he has a second lead over the rest of the field. Contact behind. Aaron Brown into Jordan Kuntz as a white flag in the air. This time by for the TA Graphics 220. As can Luke LaFaro just hang on, not making any mistakes. 1 second is the gap between him and Lucas Schreier and Eric Heater. As a jostling for the top 3 spot still, as Aaron Brown up to 5th. As side by side with Thomas Kuntz. Jordan Kuntz dominated this race pretty much. Got pole position in 6th currently. Looking for a top 5 spot here as well. As Lucas Schreier going to stay ahead of Eric Heater for now. As your single file for the 2nd and 3rd place spot entering turn 2. As Heater with a good run off for turn 2. Here comes Peters as well on Aaron Brown's contact even more for the back. Jordan Kuntz and Luke Peters making some contact. There's Thomas Kuntz sending it to the inside. Big time slider in the grass. He goes up the racetrack in front of Dakota Lee. Hits the outside wall. Off at turn 3. Luke LaFaro picks up his first win of the season. And side by side for second. 3 wide across the line. Lucas Schreier gets it over Aaron Brown. And what a comeback for Aaron Brown after being involved in that first lap incident or first caution as well. But Luke LaFaro picks up the win here tonight. The TA Graphics 220. Wow. What a strategy call there for that 54 machine. And what a deserving win for that 54. I mean, he was up front all night long. He may have not led a lot of laps. He was top 3 for most of the night. And just made the right strategy call at the right time. Got a little bit lucky with some contact behind. Got him to a pretty big gap. But he gets the win here tonight at Pocono. And Aaron Brown finishes in 3rd place. He was involved in multiple wrecks here tonight. And what a top 3 finish for him. He'll probably, I believe, still maintain the points. And what a finish for Lucas Schreier as well in 2nd here at Pocono as well. But Luke LaFaro got burnt down front straight away. top 3 pictures underway there, but Luke Lafaro gonna burn it down here tonight. Hits the outside wall to pass Tech as well. As he is our 6th different winner this season in 9 races. Burns it down the inside wall as well. Let's take a quick look at our results here. The TA Graphics 220. As what a hectic last few laps that was, as Luke Lafaro picks up the win here tonight. Lucas Strayer in second, Aaron Brown third, Eric Keeter fourth, Luke Peters in fifth, Jordan Kuntz in sixth, Jack Clemens seventh, Dakota Lee eighth, Derek Stanley in ninth, and Douglas Newbegin rounding out the top 10 spot. And Jacob Doran in 11th, Brian Perry in 12th, Malka Drake 13th, Nicholas Ammons in 14th, Thomas Kuhn in 15th. After going to the grass there in turn 3, and Kelly Hendrickson in 16th, Evan Drake in 17th, and Todd Aspinall 18th, and Chris Sawyer rounding out the 19-car field here tonight. Bring in our race winner, though, of Luke Lafaro. Just talked to him a few moments ago, but he gets it done here tonight. Hello, Luke. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So you get the win here tonight after some of those drivers battling behind you. Talk us through those last few laps, and how nervous were you just with that second lead, trying not to make any mistakes?
Dude, I literally was like about to like crash out on myself because I thought I choked the start. Like everybody got a good start except for me. Like in my head I'm like I'm gonna lose it like this, and I luckily get a great run off of one. I was able to clear Peters, and at that point I'm like, okay, well it's gonna be me and Peters battling to the end here, and then we enter turn 2, and I hear like tire screeches, and I look behind me, and they're like wrecking each other back there. So at that point I'm like, just don't choke it away. And I'm like, I have a second lead. If I choke this away, I'm retiring. So, able to lucky I was able to hold off there. I got a little lucky with them wrecking, but I'm really happy I was able to pull this one off.
Yeah, I mean, just getting your first one of the season, you were kind of on the bubble there, around 10th in the points. How does it feel going into these next few weeks, knowing that you have a little bit more of a cushion, pretty big cushion now, going to the chase as well?
I mean, yeah, it helps tremendously. I mean, this season so far, I haven't got the finishes I thought I deserved personally. So this really just helps put some icing on the cake and makes me feel good about making the playoffs, and just winning it alone is just nice to do.
Well, anyone like think for tonight's win here at Pocono?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Talon, for putting on the broadcast. Always do a great job. Want to thank my teammates at ABOC. We kind of choked away the top 3, but we still did race really good. And yeah, I want to thank Brady for putting on the league.
Well, congrats on your win here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Bristol.
All right, see you then.
So that was Luke Lafaro, our race winner, bringing our second place finisher of Lucas Strayer. What a run for him as well, making his way through the field. See if we can find him in a moment. Hello, Luke. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
So you finished off in second place. Talk us through that green-white checker and made your way through the field. I think you guys were 4 wide entering turn 3 in the last lap as well. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, I just got so lucky, like it's not even funny. Like we're going into turn 2 and I'm thinking like, okay, like he's probably gonna drop off and I'm gonna finish 4th. And then they had that like incident in the tunnel turn, and I don't know, the 50 just was so worried about the 27 that he's just trying everything he can do to cover him off that he just kind of just left the entire middle open. So I made it fifth to second in a turn, and then I saw the 96 in my mirror trying to dive underneath it. I'm like, we're going to be 4 wide entering this turn. This is going to be bad. And he kind of pulled out, but still, like when we got on that straightaway, I was looking behind me and I was like, that's not good. We don't look good here. Then, yeah, just had a boat race heater the whole race. In the whole last lap. He wasn't going to let me have it easy until I passed him, and then I forgot how to actually turn. So that set up the very interesting final turn. But yeah, so I am pure luck at this point. I should not have been there. I'm terrible at this track. I started 11th, and I had 2 people in front of me wreck on the pace lap. So yeah, this entire race is pure luck. So we're gonna take it.
That's still second. Still great points today. Right now you are 4th in the points. I mean, really good points today for you, and continue this good points run you have so far this season. Anyone like to thank for tonight's run?
For tonight's run, I just want to thank Jake for convincing me to race. The whole race we were talking about, it's going to be boring, strung out, not much doing. So like we're kind of just keeping each other motivated to keep going. But I also want to shout out my grandpa. He's been joking to me that I don't get interviewed at all because I keep finishing 4th. So hi, Pappy. I'm finally interviewed. I got second. I'll win one day. Just I'll get it.
Well,
enjoy the second in the interview for once.
Yeah, great run for you here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Bristol.
Thanks, see you then.
That was our 2nd place finisher of Lucas Strayer. So you're bringing our 3rd place finisher of Aaron Brown. Somehow, some way, he winds himself back in the top 5 spot late in this one. Hello, Aaron, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
So somehow you get into a top 3 spot after having some incidents in this race and having some damage early on. Tagasu used pretty much your whole race in those last 2 laps. That chaotic finish.
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of wild. I lucked into P3 there. Got pretty lucky there, right at the very end. But the whole race, going into it, we all knew it was going to be really close on one stop. We're sitting around 27 laps of fuel. I wants to try and go 28. Trying to save a little bit of fuel, but around lap 3, Doug was right on my bumper. I pushed the corner actually a little bit too much, got in the wall. He spun me around. I just feel like it was. I think it was my fault. It was my fault in general, but I just feel like I don't know. I probably could have checked up a little bit more, maybe get out of the wall, but it just feel like he was so close. I just kind of misjudged that. That wall kind of just snuck up on me there off 3. But other than that, but that put me in the back, and we had that really long green flag run, very hard to pass here at Pocono, and just kind of tough. Started working my way up, but it was just kind of impossible to gain time. I just couldn't gain. I was barely gaining here and there. Finally got that caution late after pit stops. I was up to around 8th or 7th, and some drivers took 2. I was up in sitting in 9th, and then me and Jack got together in turn 2 after getting by a few of those guys. Jack got loose there, and it was called on Jack, but Jack was all right. But Jack was mostly killed, but he still rebounded from 7th, so it's kind of where he was running when that happened. So pretty good there. But just got lucky with the green checkers as well, and was kind of hoping it happened, and it did. They kind of wrecked up front, but LaFar got really far out in front. Pretty much got him the win there as long as kept going green, and he didn't make any massive mistakes. That big wreck just checked up the entire field, and we were all 4 wide. And somehow stuck through on the bottom, 3 wide, going into turn 3 there on the final lap, and somehow snuck out a P3 over Heater, Peters, and June. So overall pretty decent race, I guess, by the end of it. But yeah, just kind of lackluster night, I would say, in general.
Yeah, still 3rd, still good points today, and you'll still be a leader after this one. Points leader after this one as well. Anyone like to thank for tonight's good run?
Yeah, I gotta thank my teammates. I gotta thank Malachi Drake and Jack Killemans in the VC on it. Also gotta thank Thomas Coonan in there as well, helping us out on the racetrack all night, every week, and we'll pack it up hopefully coming in the next week. But yeah, I gotta thank you for the broadcast. Gotta thank the admins for putting it on, and the viewers for tuning in.
Well, see you next week at Bristol in Tennessee.
Thank you.
That was Aaron Brown, our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Already went through the results, but upcoming next on the Legends Racing Network Wednesday nights, go to Myrtle Beach for the Superstar ARCA Cup Series. Then on Thursday night, we go to the Undisputed Cup Series Rockingham there. And Friday night is Kern Raceway for the NAOR Cup Series. And CMP Racing League will be going to, I believe, they'll be going to Pocono as well. So back-to-back Pocono races as well here Monday and Sunday nights. And then next week for 5 Points Racing League, I mentioned this multiple times, we're going to be at Bristol. So very different than this racetrack at Pocono. Second biggest on the schedule to the smallest on the schedule. So we will see you guys there next week at Bristol, Tennessee. So long from Pocono Raceway.